Hello and welcome to today's webcast entitled Office 365, Your Business in the Cloud. My name is Josh Wishay, and I'm a partner sales executive with Microsoft. And along with me is Tim Tetrick, my technical counterpart. He is part of the TS2 team and resides as a partner technology strategist. In addition, we've got Leslie Kenny from SWI, the U.S. Sales Director for Software Wholesale International, who, by the way, is one of our valued partners in many respects. They're a multiple award winner at our Worldwide Partner Conference over the last several years. They have multiple gold competencies and really know their stuff when it comes to Microsoft licensing as well as deploying our solutions in the cloud. Office 365 being today's example. So I'm excited to have Leslie with us to talk to you about how they can, reduce the project time, minimize potential downtime, and get you moved up in Office 365. It's an exciting proposition. So today we're going to do a little bit of a business value discussion, try to frame up quickly what Office 365 is, and then Tim is going to jump into a demo for you for about 20 minutes so you could see this puppy in action, and then we'll flip it over to Leslie who will talk more about their services. So with that said, let's get started. I wanted to start by speaking about the why. Like, why are we really excited and what is our vision? And I love to start out talking about Office 365 in this context because the overarching message here is we're bringing enterprise class technologies and capabilities to the masses, to the SMB marketplace and the mid-market, to customers who haven't been able to afford these technologies in the past, at least in the capacity that we're deploying them, or didn't have the expertise in-house to make it happen. We've come such a long way in a very short amount of time, and it's just amazing as you'll see what's capable today, what's possible, what you can do here with Office 365. So I want to let you know I'm legitimately excited for you to watch this webcast, and hopefully you'll be too when you see this thing in action. So let's take a look at some of the quotes from our customers. These are very common needs. I'm sure many of them relate to you. Downtime is always going to be of concern, right? Security and compliance. There's rarely a customer conversation about Office 365 without that discussion. And by the way, while we're on the notion of security, because it's usually the first thing that comes up, if you go into a search engine and type in Office 365 Trust Center, you'll be directed to our portal in which we could preemptively satisfy a lot of your concerns and questions about security and compliance. But that's always top of mind, so I wanted to bring it up. Some of these other themes of staying connected no matter what, doesn't matter where they're at, what device your end clients are on, the people that you support if you're in the IT department, we've got that taken care of. And of course, collaborating more efficiently, having solutions that evolve with you. So all of these things are taken care of within Office 365, and there's some pretty big themes that I'd like to hone in on a little bit more. One of which is expanding your business and not your budget. Right? There's scale services and tools quickly as your business needs shift, right? Without the hassle and costs of new server and software. So the way that I look at that, there are many customers that are coming up on a hardware refresh, right? And they're looking at a huge CapEx spend in order to modernize their infrastructure within messaging and communications and collaborations software. And we're moving all of that up into the cloud for you. So that can all be taken care of, and you don't need to drop a ton of coin on buying more servers and then doing capacity planning for future growth. It's just going to grow along with you. So eliminating downtime and business impact from software updates. Number one, downtime. What is the cost of downtime per hour for your organization? And have you ever been bit by that? Right? So being able to have Microsoft and SWI take care of that for you, it should be a stress reliever, right? You don't have to worry about that. And then even software updates alone, Microsoft takes care of that on the back end. So, being able to take advantage of the latest innovation features and capabilities with updates released every month, that's huge. Getting more for your money. right? Having a single source provider in a sense, multiple product and service solutions without the cost of complications or having to patchwork everything together. And going back to that enterprise grade productivity and storage and security without the cost that you're normally used to seeing. And once again, you see this comment, reallocate capital by reducing capital expenditures. The subscription model reduces upfront costs, grows with your business. So that's huge, right? And we've, going back to that, we've seen the business decision switching into the CFO's desk now around technology more and more because it's almost seen as a utility. It's a monthly expense, and instead of these massive projects of getting and managing it, setting it all up, now it's more of a financial decision. So, if you haven't told this story yet to your CFO or equivalent, get them excited about it. It's a great story. Additionally, simplifying the details and focus on the big picture. So kind of going back to the regular updates that are managed by us for you, and then faster setup and deployment process. I've literally seen an end customer, with the help of a partner, stand up Office 365 in a day and a half. Over a weekend, they come back Monday morning, boom, they're live, ready to go, fully migrated, completely taken care of. So you can't really get that, with your traditional infrastructure server deployments. So that's something else that we can increase your speed of deployment, and then in a sense help you increase your speed to market for your solutions that are being complemented by Office 365. So what is Office 365? It's been out for several years. You've probably heard about it, but it continues to evolve. I like to describe Office 365. We've taken the master brand of Office, and we attached some very powerful, robust services around email. You get a 50 gig mailbox fully filtered for spam and viruses with retention and deletion policies and e-discovery and things like data loss prevention, which I'm going to talk about here in just a second, and information rights management, some really powerful things just all around email, and of course contacts, tasks, calendars are all included as well. And then you have the ability to share and store documents in the cloud with SharePoint Online. And communicate with unlimited online meetings through Link Online. So these are the names of the services that wrap around Office and the actual Office applications, which are delivered to you either through a web browser or downloading the bits onto your machine just as if you were to install it via a DVD. So you get that rich copy of Office included with these services that we call Office 365. So in short, it's Office, the Office apps you know and love and have used for years, the 2013 version, and when we come out with the new version, that'll be automatically included in your subscription, and then it's Exchange Online, SharePoint Online, and Link Online. We have some different flavors of this. Great news is you can mix and match as your needs evolve. And we have a new suite called the Business Premium Suite. It's designed for businesses up to 300 users, $12.50 a user per month. It includes Office. It includes the features, many of the features that I had told you about. It does not have some of the robust enterprise capabilities that I'll talk a little bit more about in a moment and that you'll see in the demonstration, but it's huge value, and you could always level up to the enterprise features, but this is kind of the base starting package in my mind. $12.50 a user per month, MSRP for the business premium. Moving into the enterprise stack, we call the E plans. There's the E1 plan and the E3 plan. E3 is the Cadillac of the offerings. It's the best value, $20 a user per month, and it includes those more top-end features and capabilities. And I'm going to challenge you here because a lot of customers, they say, oh, we're a small business. We don't need the quote-unquote enterprise features. And when I say I'm going to challenge you, what I mean by that is going back to that initial vision statement, right, of getting access to these features and functions that you hadn't had time to figure out, or you couldn't afford them, and now they're available to you, and they're available to act as a differentiator between you and your competitor, right? They're going to give you an edge, they're going to protect you, they're going to give you insights. So the features that I'm talking about, let me move on to the next slide here. And this is a full line comparison, but features like data loss prevention in information rights management. And so, DLP, data loss prevention, it's an amazing feature that I love to tell a story about, that I heard at an Ignite conference one time, and that's more of a technology conference that we go to once in a while. But DLP is a feature within the Exchange Online Plan 2, which is present within the E3 suite, but it allows IT administrators to protect their company from inadvertent emails that were sent with confidential information. And as an example, there are one of three things that they could decide happens when somebody tries to send an email with either confidential information in the message body or with an attachment. And maybe somebody was sending an Excel file and they didn't realize there was a second tab there with a bunch of PHI or social security information or credit card numbers or anything confidential for that matter. And DLP would sniff that out before the message is being sent, and it would produce a policy tip that pops up in Outlook and says, hey, this is going to violate our policy. Were you aware of this? Would you like to remove the data, make changes, and then send the email? Or the administrator can say, you know what, pop up that policy tip. We're not even going to let it go. We're not going to give them the option. So either they could have the option to send it knowingly that it's violating a policy, which probably wouldn't see too much. Option 2, notify them, restrict the ability to send entirely. Or option 3, which is where the story is going to go, blind carbon copy the compliance officer and let the message go. So the story that was told to us was there was a company that deployed this, and on the very first day, at the end of the day, they were walking out a C-level executive in handcuffs because the compliance officer was BCC'd on a message in which this guy was sending confidential information to one of their competitors. He was selling trade secrets. So that's kind of an interesting way to think about how DLP, just a small little feature within Exchange Online Plan 2, within the Enterprise Plan 3's suite of offerings, can protect your business. Similarly, we have encryption with information rights management. Provides you the ability to restrict what is able to be printed, copied, and forwarded, and it encrypts the message for you. So those are two very powerful features, just as an example, that are part of the Enterprise Suite. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about compliance, right? E-discovery, litigation hold. Those things can be costly should you ever encounter a litigious event, find yourself in the middle of a battle, and where email is a discoverable item. This can be a godsend in helping you work through that, and it's all available within the E3 suite. So that being said, E3 might not be for you, but I challenge you and encourage you to take a look at some of those features and see if you might be able to benefit from them. Okay, so enough talking. Let's shift this over to Tim. Tim, thank you very much for joining us today, and looking forward to your demo here. So I'm going to flip it over to you, and you have the floor.
Thanks, Josh. So as Josh mentioned, my name is Tim Tetrick, and I'm a partner technology strategist with Microsoft. And I'd just like to spend the next 20 minutes or so walking you through a hands-on demonstration of Office 365, and really want to focus this demonstration on the user experience. To give you a feel for what it's like actually using and interacting with Office 365 on a daily basis. And as I go through the demo, I'll be focusing on not only the great productivity capabilities, but also looking at the nice integration that exists across the services. Services including Office, Exchange Online, SharePoint Online, Lync Online, and Yammer. So what you're looking at here is the Outlook desktop client. That's part of the Office 365 Pro Plus client that comes with Office 365. So just want to show off a few of the many capabilities that exist. So first thing I want to talk about is touch mode. So touch mode allows you to quickly and easily toggle between a touch mode and a mouse and keyboard mode. So, with all these different types of devices we're seeing coming out in the marketplace, sometimes you might want to utilize Office in a touch mode. And again, this works with not only Outlook, but all the Office applications. You have this great ability to toggle between mouse and keyboard and a touch mode. So let's say if I want to interact with Outlook via touch mode here, I can go into touch mode. You see it kind of spaces everything out, optimizes it for that touch experience. I also get these nice little quick actions over here on the right, very convenient to use on like a tablet or a slate. And then again, depending on what type of device I'm on, depending on how I want to interact with the device, maybe I want to toggle back into that mouse and keyboard mode. I can quickly and easily do that. You see it kind of tighten everything up, optimizing it for that mouse and keyboard experience. Also want to talk a little bit about Office apps. So there is an Office App Store with apps, just like the app stores that you're used to using in your life. There's now an Office App Store with apps that work with all the different Office applications. And just to show you a quick example of that, here's an Outlook app called the Bing Map app. And what it does is it installs into Outlook, and every time it sees an address in an email, it'll automatically pop the Bing Map app. And then what I can do is click on that with a single click. It will automatically map that address right in line within the Outlook experience. And not just a static map here. I can scroll in and out. I can move around. I can get directions, pop out and view into a large map. So just a cool little, like a lot of apps in your life, give you this great ability to, make you more productive, save time, things like that. So you can think, typically if I, got an email address or an address in an email, I'd have to, copy that, open a browser, navigate to a mapping application, paste that in. Now with just one click of the mouse, I can automatically map that address right within the Outlook experience without having to leave the Outlook experience at all. So again, just a cool little capability. Encourage you to go out to the Office App Store, and there's a whole bunch of great little apps out there, many of them free. Be sure and check them out. I also want to talk a little bit about the online archive. So Office 365 includes an online archive. You can kind of think of it like a PST file in the cloud. So, PST files, have some issues with them, right? They're only available on the local machine. They aren't necessarily backed up. And if you lose them in a hard drive crash, you could lose all that information. So really seeing people move from the old PST model into this new online archive model. With the online archive, it sits up in the cloud. It's backed up and secure in Microsoft's data center. It also travels with you, as we'll see in just a few minutes. You can access it no matter where you happen to be. So with many plans within Office 365, the online archive is actually an unlimited storage archive in addition to the 50 gigabyte primary mailbox. So really alleviates storage issues. So a number of ways that you can deal or interact with the online archive. You can drag and drop items into it. You can set up folders just like you are used to doing. You can also set up policies, archiving policies, and say, whenever an item reaches a certain time period, automatically move it into the online archive for me. There's also some plans contain compliance archiving. So if you have the need to, put a hold on a mailbox so that if someone tries to delete or edit items, they're permanently retained for e-discovery. There's plans in Office 365 that also provide that compliance archiving for what we call litigation hold or in-place hold as well. So great calendaring capabilities that you've come to know and love with Outlook, rich calendaring capabilities, the ability to share your calendar, the ability to view other people's calendars that have shared given permissions. You can share calendars side by side. You can share in this great little overlay capability, which is a really convenient way for finding availability across multiple people. But the same rich, really nice calendaring capabilities in Outlook. Also your contacts. So here's all your contacts now called people. You have full access to those as well. So with Office 365, we like to talk about this consistent experience of your email, calendar, contacts across not only your PC or your Mac, like we just looked at here with the Outlook desktop application, but also across browser and across mobile device as well. So let's look at the browser experience here first. So this is the Office 365 portal that you'll be logging into. Works on cross-browser support, so not just IE, but also on Firefox, Chrome, Safari on the Mac. Has this great little app launcher navigation experience. So no matter where I happen to be in the portal, no matter what app I happen to be in, I can always go up into this app launcher in the top left corner, and it gives me a single point of access to all the services available to a user. And you'll see that as we show off many of the apps through the demonstration here. So first one I want to talk about is Outlook Web App, or OWA. So OWA gives you anywhere access to your email from virtually anywhere. So again, cross-browser support. You can, if you happen to be at a shared computer, on a friend's machine, a kiosk, you can still get full access to your email through Outlook Web App. And as you'll notice, this interface is very similar to the Outlook desktop client. So if you're used to using Outlook, there's no need for you to learn a new interface. It's a very comfortable experience for you. And we're seeing a lot of the rich features and capabilities of the Outlook desktop client make their way into OWA as well. So things like the reading pane, things like conversation view, the ability to drag and drop, the ability to right mouse click and get a pop-up context menu. Lots of those great rich capabilities making their way into the OWA browser client. Again, look at calendaring. So very rich calendaring experience right within the browser, cross-browser support, again, the same ability to view other people's calendars subject to permissions, and then also, again, people or contacts, no matter where you happen to be, still access to all your contacts. And we don't really have time to show it, but great mobile device access capabilities within Office 365 too. So Office 365 works with all major mobile devices that support the ActiveSync protocol. So that includes Windows phones, Windows tablets, iPhone, iPad, Android devices, and all the different types of devices have native platform apps for accessing the Office 365 services. So there's native apps for viewing and editing your Office documents, for accessing OneDrive and Link, and we're going to be looking at those in just a second. For Office, there's Office for iPad, Office Mobile for iPhone, Office Mobile for Android. There's OWA for iOS and Android. All of those great capabilities included as part of Office 365, giving you that great experience accessing Office 365 across multiple different types of devices. Okay, now I'd like to talk a little bit about Link Online. So Office 365 also includes Link Online for instant messaging, presence, streaming audio and video, screen sharing, web conferencing, all together in one service. So there's a number of ways that you can interact with Link. As we'll see in a second, Link actually flows through the other services. But one of the popular ways to interact with Link is via the Link desktop client. So that's what we're seeing at here. Allows you to go in, set up groups of colleagues and coworkers that you frequently interact with. And as you can see, you'll get some immediate information back on those colleagues and coworkers. You're getting contact photos. You're also getting presence information. So if you're not familiar with presence, it's really the current status of users, of your colleagues and coworkers. And the value of it is it really helps you to make some really smart, efficient decisions about the best way to interact with your colleagues and coworkers. So, for example, let's say that I have a quick question for Amy here. So I can see that Amy, I check her status here, I see that she's actually away from her desk right now. She's in a yellow status, which means away. I'm not going to bother with trying to, hit her over instant messaging conversation or, go over to her desk or call her at her desk. Maybe I'll send her an email and she can respond back when she's available. But let's say here I have a quick question for Julian. In this case, I can see that he's green, which means he's in an available status. And so, again, can make some smart decisions off that. I know the best and most efficient ways to communicate and collaborate with him based on his current status. So in this case, because he's available, maybe I'm going to just kick off a quick instant messaging conversation with him. And maybe I just start out, hi, Julian. Maybe we chat back and forth. I can, run my question by him. So as we're chatting back and forth here, maybe I'll have the need to escalate this IM conversation into more of a full-blown communication and collaboration session. So what's great about Link is I can do that with just a click or two of the mouse. So I can escalate this IM conversation into a streaming audio call. I can turn it into a web conference by clicking here. You see I get a little video preview there before I start my video. I can also do screen sharing. So maybe I need to share my screen. I can share my desktop. I can share a specific program. I can upload a PowerPoint. We can do whiteboarding, polling, Q&A. I have all these capabilities available to me. Again, picking the best way to communicate and collaborate that suits the situation. So again, so presence, super powerful here. Not only is, if a user's at their desk and available, they're going to show green status. If they're away or have locked their computer, they're going to go into a yellow away status. Link also integrates with Exchange Online and Outlook so that if you're in a meeting, it'll automatically show your presence as busy, as a red or busy status, so people know that you're in a meeting and not available. And you can go in and change your status manually as well if you want. So as I mentioned, this instant messaging presence flows through the entire product suite of Office 365. And let's just take a quick look at that. So if we hop back over to Outlook, you'll see here presence in Outlook. So not only presence, if I hover over here, I get this nice little contact card. I get these little click to communicate buttons. So if I get this email from Amy, I see what her status is. I can hover over here and quickly reach out via IM, audio, video, email. I have these click to communicate buttons, status flowing into Outlook as well. Also with Outlook web app. So let's go back to Outlook web app. We'll see I have same thing, presence flowing in to Outlook web app, the ability to click here and get details, the contact card, the click to communicate buttons. Great experience of Link Online with presence and these click to communicate buttons flowing through the other services as well. So what we just looked at here was an example of this kind of one-to-one communication collaboration session. But sometimes you have the need to do a scheduled web conference, and Link Online can handle that as well. So go back to Outlook here. Let me just show you an example of this. Let's say we have this email here, and let's say that I want to call a meeting based off of this email. In this case, I'm going to invite all employees to this meeting. Now, let's say that I know that some of my employees are going to be remote, so I want to turn this into a remote web conference so that those employees can join remotely. So what's really great, a nice integration story here between Link and Outlook, is I get this Link meeting plugin right here within Outlook. It allows me with just one click of the mouse, I can automatically turn any meeting into a remote web conference. So as people get ready to join this remote web conference, they can just click the Join the Link meeting. You'll see if they have the Link desktop client on their machine, they'll come up with the same experience that we just looked at a second ago, and the same ability with all the same workloads available. So I can do instant messaging, audio, streaming video, desktop sharing, screen sharing, program sharing, all those same capabilities available to me in a scheduled web conference, just like they were to me in a one-to-one communication and collaboration session. And this actually works with both internal and external attendees, and up to 250 total attendees this works with. So great to use internal to your organization or with your external customers and partners as well. And if someone goes to join a Link web conference and they do not have the Link desktop client that we just looked at here, no problem. They will automatically be prompted to download and install the Link web app. So it's a free download, cross-browser support, give them all the same capabilities that we just looked at. Again, instant messaging, audio, video streaming, screen sharing, all those same capabilities available to the user, whether they're using the Link desktop client or the Link web app. You can even, with the Link Web app, have that user elevate them as a presenter so that they could share their screen back to you. Lots of capabilities there. So, I've really seen web conferencing used for a number of different really creative things. Seen customers using it for things like remote desktop troubleshooting, for IT, seen it used for trainings, for sales presentations. You can even record, say, a training and for people to view it after the fact, but really can help you save time and travel costs for things that used to maybe have to travel out to. A lot of those things can be done via a Link Web conference. Okay, now I want to finish up talking a little bit about OneDrive for Business, SharePoint Online, and just a little bit about Yammer as well. So first let's talk about OneDrive for Business. So let's go back into our Office 365 portal, go back into the app launcher here. Let's go into our OneDrive for Business. So OneDrive for Business is really your personal document library, the place for you to store and share your work documents and other files from the cloud. So each user gets 1 terabyte of space for storage in just their OneDrive for Business repository. And soon that's going to be going to an unlimited storage. So great cloud storage capabilities. Again, each user getting 1 terabyte of space today, going to unlimited storage in the future. So just walk you through some of the capabilities here within OneDrive for Business. First of all, you can look at, here's all your OneDrive for Business documents. You can see all the documents that other people have shared with you. You can go into your recycle bin. Anything that gets deleted stays in the recycle bin for at least 90 days in case you accidentally deleted something. So great capabilities there. So let me show you some of the capabilities here within OneDrive for Business. And the things I'm getting ready to show you are applicable to not only OneDrive for Business, but to also SharePoint Online team sites. So keep that in mind. We're going to talk about SharePoint team sites in a second. All these capabilities I'm about ready to show you apply to both here. So first thing I want to show you is document previewing. So as you're looking through maybe, for a specific document here, really great that I get this nice little preview capability. So I don't have to open the whole document as I'm looking for something. I can just get this preview, go through here. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Go on to the next one. Very nice experience. Also, by default, when I load a document, it'll load into Office Online, in this case PowerPoint Online. For this PowerPoint document, gives me viewing and light editing from any browser right within the browser. Cross-browser support, great story to tell there. If I want to edit this, I can do light editing in Online, Office Online, or if I have the full Office installed, I can edit in this case, the full PowerPoint Office app as well. So document previewing, viewing and editing through Office Online. The sharing experience is just really great with for OneDrive for Business and SharePoint Online. So let me show you that real quick. So sharing, I can share a document, I can share a folder, I can share an entire site if I want to. Again, this applies to both SharePoint Online team sites and OneDrive for Business. But what I can do here is select a document, say share. You'll see I'll get this nice little intuitive sharing interface here. I can go in and put in the names and email addresses of people that I want to share the document with. I can choose what kinds of rights I want them to have, edit rights, view rights. I can require them to sign in or send it anonymously. I can also just get a link if I want to. Maybe I want to just grab a link to include in another document. I can certainly do that as well. So not only sharing, but also managing sharing. So I can go back in and any file or folder that I've shared already will have this little icon to show me that I've shared it already. I can click on that and then manage my existing sharing. So I can go back in. I can remind myself exactly who the document has been shared with. I can see what rights they have. I can change those rights. I can stop sharing. You can see here I'm sharing with Julian and Dan here. Again, change those rights, stop sharing if I want to. I can go and invite new people. I could email everyone. Let's say if I have an update of a document, I want to just quickly notify everyone that I'm sharing with. I could do that here. So great sharing capabilities both internally and externally. Also syncing. So I get offline syncing, again with OneDrive for Business and with SharePoint team sites. I can say sync here. It'll let me know that my files are syncing. I say show my files, and we'll see here, this is an offline version of all my files in OneDrive for Business. So I get offline syncing. If, maybe I'm going to be, off the internet for a while, I'll still have access to all my OneDrive for Business files. And also, it's a two-way sync here. So maybe if I prefer to create documents locally, using Windows Explorer, as I create documents in here, they'll automatically be backed up to the cloud. They'll automatically sync up to the cloud so they're available from anywhere. So a great two-way syncing capability that I get here. I can upload files into the repository, or I can drag and drop, which is great. I can go in here and just find a file and just drag and drop to upload files. A very quick and easy way, a very nice interface with the browser-based interface for OneDrive for Business. Again, also applies to SharePoint Online. I can also do things like check in and check out. I can do check in and check out on documents, which is great. I can do versioning, so I can set up versioning. So as people go in and make changes, or as I make changes, I will see the different versions. So at any point I could go back, I could view or restore an old version, just in case a change was overwritten that I want back. It's still there when I have versioning turned on. I can see that different people that made changes. You see here going back to Link Online and Presence and the communication cards also flowing into Link here. So very nice experience there as well. Okay, so also want to talk just a little bit about Yammer. So just a couple words on Yammer. Yammer is really social networking for the enterprise. So, it looks a lot like, some consumer social networking tools that maybe you're used to using in your personal life. And really you get the same benefits with Yammer that you do in those consumer social networking tools, right? You get the ability to share things about yourself and to learn things about others, and collaborate and share in a way that you really can't do in any other way. So you'll see you get things like, activity feeds, and you can set up groups, and you get blogging and commenting. You can follow people and topics and conversations. Just a great sharing and collaborating experience as part of Yammer. Okay, so finally I want to talk a little bit about SharePoint Online team sites. We can go into sites here and take a look at that. So first we can manage specific or promote specific sites that we want our users to see. We can also follow specific team sites. Let's take a look here first at this Contoso team site. This is my my intranet site for my company, maybe very popular, application of SharePoint as a team site. I see here I have all of my different little sub-sites for all my groups in my organization, for maybe HR and operations and sales and marketing. Let's say I'll go into my sales and marketing site, go in under resellers. I can get team sites under here. Maybe everyone that's working on the Northwind account can go in under this site to get things like information, get KPIs. I get Yammer feeds right within SharePoint, which is pretty cool. I get shared documents that we're working on as a project team. And again, within this document library, I get all the same things that we talked about, right? The ability to share, the ability to get preview, the ability to sync, the ability to do versioning, and all those great things available here as well. And also, just to go back to sites here, just to show you how easy it is to create a new site, I can, subject to permissions, I can go in here and just say new, create a brand new site. It takes just a few minutes to create, and then just to give you a sense for what it looks like, let's take a look at this new site here. Gives you this nice little wizard capability when you create a new site, allows you to quickly and easily go in and customize that new team site. So I can go in here and choose who I want to share the site with. Very intuitive, simple sharing, just like we looked at with document sharing. I can go in here and add calendars and timelines and things like that. I can go in here and add lists and libraries and apps. I can change this quickly and easily change the look and feel, the style of the site through a number of themes and templates. I can change site, the branding to my site, add logos, descriptions, things like that. And just to show you real quickly here, for adding lists, libraries, and apps, let's just go in here real quick and I'll show you how easy this is to do. Here's a whole bunch of different types of lists and libraries, things that I can add, a document library, I can add a site mailbox, tasks, links, other things that I can add here. And then what's really cool is I talked a little bit earlier about Office apps and an Office app store. There's also a SharePoint app store. So I can go into the SharePoint app store, and find a ton of different types of SharePoint apps that could be incorporated into my site. So you see there's a number of different type out here. You see there's a DocuSign right there for SharePoint Online, for electronically signing documents right within SharePoint. I can even do a little search here if I want to find different apps that are out there. Maybe I'm trying to build a sales team site. I can go out there and look, oh, here's some simple CRM applications. Here's an app for printing sales orders, things like that. Let's see, let's maybe look at as a consulting business. Oh, here's a little consulting practice app where I can track clients and projects and things like that. A lot of them are free, some of them cost. Great capabilities to go in and add apps, list, libraries, apps, existing apps from the SharePoint store for really customizing that experience for SharePoint. So that was just a quick kind of overview of the capabilities. I hope it helped you get a sense for what Office 365 is capable of and what the experience is like. At this point, I'm going to turn it back over to Josh. Take it away, Josh.
Great job, Tim. Fantastic demo and very comprehensive. So appreciate the time that you spent to display that for us. And now I'm going to turn it over to Leslie from SWI, and wanted to just reiterate the fact that over the years we have done hundreds of successful Office 365 deployments through SWI, and I think that you'll be very happy if you decide to engage with them. And so Leslie, I'm going to let you do your thing and tell us about what you guys bring to the table. So you have the floor.
Thanks, Joshua, and thanks to Tim for that great demo. At SWI, we feel very fortunate to be able to work closely with you all, and we're thrilled to have access to Tim's expertise as a Microsoft technical solution professional. So during the remainder of the webcast, I'd like to shed a little bit of light on who we are at SWI, what we offer at SWI, and why you should choose SWI to help with your Office 365 migration, integration, and ongoing IT management. We are, in fact, a nationally recognized and award-winning Microsoft Gold partner. You can see quite a few of our awards there. Actually, they wouldn't all fit on the screen. We're based in Longmont, Colorado, and we're a Silver Cloud Productivity Partner, as well as a Silver Small and Mid-Market Cloud Solutions Provider. We're in essence very well-versed in Office 365, and our technicians have many certifications. We specialize in the deployment, integration, and ongoing IT management of Office 365. We've been servicing Office 365 customers since day one. With Office 365, we've done over 200 migrations from various dynamic environments over a broad range of industries, from legal to medical, financial, engineering. I think we actually have a whitewater rafting client, all industries. On a day-to-day basis, we service hundreds of customers with thousands of end users, and an end user is somebody who sits at a computer and uses Office 365. These people use it every day in the course of their business operations, and we support them in that. We have a lot of technical expertise, as you can see by our capabilities. We have been able to assist clients with a host of different services, everything from end-user training to support on highly complex hybrid environments with Active Directory integration and single sign-on experiences, as well as the other items you see listed on the slide, just to name a few. Along with this technical expertise, we also provide excellence in pre-sales consulting, and our pre-sales consulting is always free. You can call us, and we will help you determine which plan is best for you and even whether or not Office 365 is, in fact, the right choice for your business. We do a full evaluation to make sure it's right, and hopefully this helps you alleviate some of the stress of migrating to the new platform. We do provide a quick and precise migration service and implementation service that works within your schedule and your time constraints. And that goes for users who have 2 end users or 200 end users. When we do perform migrations, we're there every step of the way for you. We keep track of everything in our project management software. And with our project management checklist, our technicians manage and record all the work they do during your project. It's a highly accurate report down to which technician performed which task at what time and for how long. The system that we use for project management highlights all the main milestones of the project, and we get reports to you with every milestone completion. We also have a managed IT service based on Office 365, and this allows you to pay a fixed price per user, and then we get to handle all of your Office 365 management. We have plans. We have a basic plan, a standard plan, and a premium plan, and each one of them have sort of different benefits, and this is our Swift IT for Office 365 program. We also provide a learning portal for your users to ask questions and get help. It's not the traditional watch videos and take test settings. We actually use an external Yammer group that allows your end users a very informal and non-threatening portal to get information and get their questions answered without having to jump through a lot of hoops. It's a lot like the traditional consumer social networking sites you may be used to, and we found that users are very comfortable with the interface, and it allows them to, again, act in that sort of informal and non-threatening environment. At SWI, we have a very close relationship with Microsoft, and it gives us access to benefits that translate to our customers. We have access to Microsoft's own internal resources. We get up-to-date information on new developments, and if there's a support requirement that needs to be elevated, we can accomplish that because of our great relationship with Microsoft. And we also have access to incentives to help with some of your adoption costs to hopefully defray some of those costs. We also pride ourselves on our flexibility. We can usually meet your time constraints, or if you need an implementation during the middle of the week, or if it's urgent, we are more than willing to be flexible and work with you to assist and plan and execute your migration, or even just ongoing support. If you do have a budget constraint and you have decided that Office 365 is a solution for you, we're more than willing to work with you to find ways to cut costs and also find incentives to help you offset the cost of your migration. And I have to tell you that SWI is not only an advocate, we use the platform internally every day. We really do believe that the best way to help customers understand Office 365 is to use it all the time, and we do. We believe in it 100%. We have an advanced on-premises infrastructure, and Office 365 helps us keep our IT centralized for management through Active Directory Federation and also single sign-on experiences to make sure that things are simple for our users too. And Office 365 not only supports our headquarters in Longmont, Colorado, but also our offices in Evergreen, Colorado, Fargo, North Dakota, and Austin, Texas. Now, with all these multiple locations, as you can imagine, communication and document versioning are key within our business, and using SharePoint for document sharing and storage just makes versioning and communication and document sharing a non-issue. We also live the work anywhere philosophy of Office 365, which for me sadly means that air travel is no longer a luxury for me because I can and do work from an airplane just like I do at my desk. I've even participated in link meetings from both airplanes and taxi cabs. Finally, I'd like to share a story of a past implementation and how our expertise at SWI came into play. We did have a customer who came to us needing urgent help. They had already decided to go with Office 365, and they knew it was the proper platform. They had about 60 end users, and like a lot of businesses, they had an on-premises environment that needed to be integrated into the Office 365 platform utilizing ADFS and single sign-on. They decided to receive the services for implementation from another company. And unfortunately, the other company didn't have the proper training and resources to accomplish such a large task. It ended up being even a larger undertaking than they anticipated. And finally, they came to us after having had numerous issues like duplication of all their server directory items, some high-level synchronization failures, improper DNS configuration, both internally and externally, and they still hadn't managed to get their email inboxes migrated. They were really left dead in the water, and they called us for help. Because of our expertise and our resources, we were able to do basically a 180-degree turnaround by properly configuring all their servers and users, rectifying the synchronization issues, and we migrated all their mailboxes really quickly. The client really was thrilled to be able to have us help properly solve their urgent situation and support their Office 365 environment. And we are happy to say that this client still uses the Office 365 solution. It was a big win for the customer and for us. We were thrilled that we were able to satisfy their desire to use Office 365. And we knew they needed help, and we were able to repair the implementation that had gone wrong with the other provider. We've experienced a lot of success stories like this, but we also have had comparable success with using our pre-sale support to help businesses choose the right plan, meet their budgetary and timeline requirements, and onboard them without having big glitches by doing things incorrectly. Finally, I just want to leave you with one last thought. At SWI, confusion is not an option. We simply refuse to let our current or our future customers be confused about the solution, the process, or any of the day-to-day functionality and productivity features in Office 365. If you're confused about any part of Office 365, we'd love to clear up that confusion and answer your questions. I'd like to give one last thank you to Joshua Shea and Tim Tetrick for being part of this presentation, and thank you for joining us. This concludes our webcast.